Hey guys, welcome to another video. I'm giving you guys a quick channel update here because, as you may have realized, I've not been posting videos on the YouTube channel for a few days now, and that's because I've been really busy getting the Fusion tournament up and running, making sure that it's ready to go for the qualifier tomorrow. But I thought I'd really quickly record a video for you guys who are only following on YouTube and haven't been keeping up to date with all of the many Twitter announcements that there have been for this tournament. It's quite a lot to digest over there. But yeah, we're on the website here for Fusion. It's fusion-rl.com, like I said in my last video related to the tournament. Now, if you scroll down to the bottom, besides my live stream and YouTube and Twitter links, you'll see two links for the EU qualifier and for the NA qualifier. So if I open those up for you guys, just to show you what you're going to find there, there's information about both of the tournaments. Let's go to the European qualifier first. We've of course got the list of all the casters, there they are, that are going to be helping out with the casting of the final event. Now, wanted to let you guys know that besides me streaming some of the qualifier matches on my own channel, some of these casters as well will be streaming other matches from the qualifier on their channels. So if you want to keep up with all of them and follow these guys as well on their social media, so you know what and when they're going to be streaming. But yeah, for the qualifier, we've got 32 teams. They're all confirmed. You got the usual suspects: Vitality, Dignitas, SRG are going to be playing. Mouse, Oxygen. This is the team that were formerly Reciprocity. So they've actually picked up Astral from Dignitas. Dignitas, of course, playing with Jorias. Those of you who have just followed the recent Twitter developments. Singularity are playing with Scrub. Endpoint got Metza back after a successful run in the spring series. BDS have actually picked up Nachitao, former Endpoint player. Solary and Canyons have the same rosters as before. Sauce is a new team who are just coming together for this. Very familiar names though, and very strong in the 1v1 with OSM. Tree of a Kind is Ixo joining up with Matane and Taz, power couple there. Veloce have grabbed Archie instead of Freaky, who's actually got his own team for this event. Full German roster with Godsmilla, formerly Singularity, and Striker, who is I think he's played 1v1 on my channel before, but I've never seen him play any other game modes. This is an interesting team to see how they play out. I don't know how the 3v3 is going to work because I've never seen Striker play 3s, but I could see 1s and 2s being pretty strong with him being good at those matchups. Flakes has left Barcelona and started his own team with Lauti and a Chronic. Lauti and Flakes, they go way back. They're going to be, I think, playing the 2s for that team. In his place for Barca, Roniki and Devo have picked up Seeb. Definitely going to be a huge test for Seeb to see if he can perform for that lineup. We've got Yukis, Emre, and Atomic coming together for Magnifico. They had a good run in the spring series as well. And then we're going down the list here just of seeding. Stormtroopers, they've got apparently Jack, very good 1v1 player, and this lineup actually had a good spring series run as well. We've got John McDonald's Happy Meal. Big thanks to Breezy, Rezi and Hibbs for putting that one together. Yeah, Rezi and Hibbs, they had a good run in the spring series as well with Tylacto, but they've grabbed Breezy, who's of course you know, he's had some success in ones in the past, so interested to see if they're going to be running him for this matchup, so I'm not sure. Triple Trouble, they've had a bit of you know, quite a few roster attempts recently. I think their last one didn't really work out very well. They've had a really bad spring series run, but they've got Cash, who seems to just turn every team that he plays on into gold. So I think the 3s, this should be a really interesting team. 1v1 and 2v2 are the question marks. I don't know. Cash and Blue, I imagine, would be the 2v2, and I think Blue would be the 1v1, but I've never seen them play, so that's definitely going to be interesting to see. Now, I don't know how to say this this properly. Total Shaden? I don't know. It's another Phil German team with Doomin and Nagflow. They were in RLRS last season. They've got Alex161, formerly RLRS player as well. So another Phil German lineup, and they've got Revzy for the 1v1, so that's going to be a really strong matchup for them. Nameless, very familiar names as well, with Rixaronde and Ocelon back together. Ocelon, I wonder if he's going to be playing the 1v1. I know that Dement is also very high in 1. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong again. I'm not 100% sure how this is supposed to be pronounced. If he wants to let me know, then I'd very much appreciate that. But this should be a pretty scary lineup again. A lot of these teams, I think Total Shadow and Triple Trouble didn't do too well in the... oh wait, Doomain did well in the spring series, but the other guys here didn't do so well. But yeah, I think Rix and Ocelon, I believe, went pretty deep in spring series. Celestial, now this is 2/3 of the RJM roster from Rival Series last season, picking up Rizual, who was on the Baguette squad, who didn't do so well. But this is going to be an interesting variation of the roster. Now the other third of RJM has ended up on Servette, Just Us, now playing with Mirror and Zaffair. Now I know Zafair has played ones in the past. He's been pretty high ranked before. But out of those two rosters, I don't know anyone else who's good at ones right now. I think Ryzex might be top 100. I'm not sure. But yeah, these are definitely question marks for me because I've not seen them play ones before. So I know that although there's some high rated players there, really don't know what to expect from them. Wompt, another team, are coming in after a good spring series run. Cal, Rise, and Barris. Now they don't have. I don't think they have a 1v1 player. At least again, it's another team who I don't know who their 1v1 player is going to be. Same with Team Shaky, another team who had a pretty good run in spring series. So you're starting to see a trend here for teams who are in the qualifier. Now Storybud, Growly did I think pretty well in spring series in his former team. And Rob, this is Rob who played ones on my channel before. And you know, I think he lost to Revsy, but that was his debut match on the channel, and he did do quite well. Overall, he looked pretty clean. So I'm expecting this to be quite a decent 1v1 team. Growly is also up there in the 1v1 ladder. So this could be quite a dark horse team to look out for. Now Flying Nunchucks, another team who did pretty well in spring series. I think they had J-Walls for that one, but I almost said full Norwegian roster, and I realized Al Dente is not with the Norwegian flag. That is, I believe, Denmark. Yeah, it is. So almost. If they had J-Walls, it would be. But yeah, looking forward to seeing them play. A couple of really old names there, Al Dente and Regan. They go way back. Now Yermaw with Calzafe, or is it Calzafi? I like to say I feel like it should be Calzafe. Sizen and Louis P. I think it is. Now just more players who seem to do well in different rosters that they end up on and making deep runs in the spring series qualifier that just happened. More familiar faces. Tylacto and Sebin are back with this time with Boys School. Now this full English roster really difficult to predict because I know Sebin, I'm obviously very good at 1v1 in the past, but is he now playing much ones? I'm not sure, but hey, they're another team to look out for. And finishing off the lineup for EU, there's Momentum Shifters and 5head out of Saudi Arabia. So two other teams, up and coming teams from Saudi Arabia. Definitely nowhere near the amount of success versus European teams that SRG have had, but this is a chance for them coming in as the bottom two seeds to go up against the very best, because you'll know that puts them against Vitality and Dignitas, the top seeds in round 1 of the bracket. There's 5head over here and Dignitas here. Now you can, I'm not going to go through all the matchups here, but you can do that yourselves. I thought I would just go over the teams because some of these players may not be familiar to you guys. But yeah, you can go see how the matchups are stacking up on the Wikipedia page. Now I'm not sure, I think that the lower bracket matches, the order of lower bracket matches might be changing. I'm not 100% sure on that because we're still working to get the bracket up on Smash before the qualifier tomorrow. But yeah, these are going to be the round 1 matches, so you can go take a look at them and see what you're looking forward to most for EU, which is going to start off tomorrow at well, when's the qualifier? 5 p.m. my time, so you have to figure out what that is in your time zone. It's 5 p.m. UK. But yeah, you can figure out that in your time zone. Luckily, I think Wikipedia does that for you. I believe it will tell you if you click on any match, it'll tell you when that match is happening in your time zone. It should at least, but make sure that it is actually your time zone. Mine's British summertime here, but yeah, yours might be something different. So that's the EU qualifier. Those are the teams, and that's how the seeding has ended up going. Let's go over to NA. Again, a lot of very, very familiar faces. Now G2 have picked up Mile, a player who's going to be very familiar to you guys who have been following the recent 1v1 show matches. That's extremely scary that you got the best threes team recently in North America with easily one of the best 1v1 players on the roster. Now Rogue, they didn't have to do that because they already had First Killer in the roster, and I know First and Turo, they play twos together. So this is a very well-rounded lineup already. Just fresh off a third place finish in the spring series, they're coming in as second seed to here because of yeah, they've got First Killer for ones, who might be the best ones player NA still. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out this weekend. Space Station not picking up anybody. Now, some people have been, I've noticed some comments saying that Space Station don't have a ones player, but I do know that Arsenal has been pretty consistently up there in ones, and Typical has been ranked 1, 2v2 many times. So this is actually a more well-rounded roster than people might realize. And they're going to be coming in as third seed here. NRG 4th seed, they don't have a ones player. But you know, I know that 2s and 3s are going to be very dominant for them, so you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see them going through just based on those two alone. And you never know if Garrett, Turbo, or Justin, whoever else ends up playing ones, maybe Sizz, can grab a game in a series, and they're a huge advantage if they could just get one upset win in the ones. But yeah, definitely going to be a tough one because they might be just having to win every matchup except the ones in this tournament, which they can do. I think they definitely can do against pretty much anybody except G2, who are probably going to beat them in 3s, and who, I don't know, Space Station might go pretty close with them in 2s. A couple of other teams are definitely able to take games off Energy in 2s as well. But we'll see. We'll definitely have to wait and see. PK coming in as seed 5. They've, of course, got AJ for 1v1, who's up there with the best in North America right now, playing absolutely out of his mind in the recent show matches he's played. And they picked up Alraz instead of Rettles for their third, who just came from the Stromboli roster, who failed to qualify for RLCS through the recent promotion tournament, but he's definitely a player to watch, up and coming in 3v3 as well. Cloud9 coming in as 6th seed with their standard roster. I'm very curious to see how the, maybe it's going to be Squishy Gimmick coming back for 2v2. They did, of course, win the most recent, although it's a long time ago now, Universal Open 2s tournament, so I expect them to be very solid. And probably Squishy in the 1v1, I imagine. And yeah, again, he's got a lot of experience playing under this kind of pressure, so I think he's going to do quite well, even if he is the underdog against more dominant ones players who have been on the scene recently. I still think that with his experience in competition, he should be able to compete with those guys. Envy have grabbed Rettles to go alongside Atomic and Mist. They, of course, had Illusion before that, but Rettles going to be a very interesting addition to this squad. And the Sonics, they got a couple of options for ones as well. Sathu and Dapper have a history of that game mode. So yeah, I think they're going to be just fine. Who knows, maybe they're going to get Spuda to play the 1v1. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, all RLCS in the top 8 for America. Then we get an RLRS team. Well, not even RLRS anymore because they just got relegated. They'll have to re-qualify. But after a good Spring Series run and having Lion Blaze for ones, 72-pin connector definitely deserve to be seated high here. We've got Affinity as well. Magic Bear, obviously quite known for ones recently. Him and Jordan, I know, play a lot of 2s. And yeah, they just qualified for RLCS. Charlotte Phoenix are coming in with Wonder Mike. They did play Spring Series with him. Now they... yeah, they're going to be relying on him for the 1v1, I imagine, as well. But after a good Spring Series run, they looked very impressive as a 3s roster. They should be, quite well-rounded also. E United, another RLCS roster. They've got Memory, who just left Flight to join them in place of Roll Days. I think Ajax will probably be playing the ones for them. I've never seen him... well, he's never played on my channel, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he has... Did he play one time? I think he may have, but I don't think he's played very often. Going to be seeing how he does if he is the ones player. Stromboli have got Alpha Kep instead in place of Alraz. He's definitely going to be a powerhouse in ones recently with a lot of ranked experience. That's going to be interesting to see how he fits in with 3s as well, because a lot of teams that Alpha Kep's been on have been making deep runs in tournaments recently in 3s, so I think it's a really smart pickup there. Now Mirage, they've lost J-Rus, but they've got Calm in here, who's another good 1v1 player. And yeah, Calm is just another player like Alpha Kep who's been trying out a lot of different teams recently and doing quite well, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does with the Mirage boys, another RLRS roster. Now Plot Twist have picked up Sosa, just another one of these guys who's coming up in 3v3 for North America. Going to be curious to see, 2s, they've definitely got some synergy there. I wonder if Grills will sub in for the 2s, I don't know. And they've got a couple of options with 1v1 as well. Mectos did pretty well in the Salt Mine last year, so we're going to have to wait and see how they do. And now we got Jamal Jabari. I always say this wrong. I think I got it right this time. Jamal Jabari? I don't know. I'm just going to stop. But yeah, they actually qualified for Spring Series, but then they were disqualified because one of their players was not old enough to compete. But they are, they were only like 2 days too young, but hey, rules are rules. So they would have qualified for Spring Series had it not been for that. And they've also picked up Drees for 1v1, who's really popping off in ones recently. So this is a very smart move by them, I think, to solidify their 3s roster with a 1v1 main. Flight, they're back with the same roster that they just relegated from RLCS with. See if they can make any improvements. They've got some 1v1 options as well. Now Vision in here with Beast Mode as a new player instead of Wonder Mike. I think that's going to be... Wonder Mike's a really tough player to replace on this roster. We'll see if Beast Mode can do it. But they do have Kinsey for the 1v1, and he's been doing really well recently, so I think this could be a team to watch as well. Legion is, a team of 2 players who've just lost their RLCS team, and Ty Not Tyler, who's formerly a Rival Series player as well. So this team, should be really interesting to watch, to see how they can get on. I think grabbing a roster at the last minute here and seeing how they can play together, should be capable. And they do have Ty Not Tyler for ones, I believe. Now we've got 2 Brazilian teams for the next seeds with 11s and Avidity. Definitely the 2 teams that have the most success from the South American region recently. Card, Tander, Kaio, played at the World Championships, of course. Avidity, they made a pretty good run beating Rogue in DreamHack Montreal, so they've got international LAN experience as well. So yeah, really excited to see those two teams competing. Now we got Divine, Parklet from RGB, last season's RLRS team, who didn't do so well. I think they actually went 0-9, but he's still up there for threes. And J-Russ just leaving. I think no, sorry, I'm getting my teams mixed up here. They just left Mirage. So he's going to be trying to, I think, anchor this roster with ones, probably. It should be interesting to see how they get on. But, very experienced players in the bubble scene for NA, and the rival series scene even. And I double tap J-Bot. We're going to be playing the ones for this roster. Then we got Thunder Delta and Andy. Andy was sub for Stromboli last year. Thunder played for Warriors. So they've definitely got a solid threes team there, as well as J-Bot for ones. That's going to be interesting to see how they do. And then Warriors, who just lost Thunder, they've got Stokely, who just missed out on top 6 for a rival series last season. In fact, as a result of losing to Warriors in the last game. So obviously no hard feelings there. They're teaming up now. I'm not sure who's going to be playing the ones for this, Buddy or J-Wiz, I imagine, but we'll have to wait and see. Now we got Enormity. I think Adverse will probably be playing ones for them, because he's pretty up there in 1v1 rank. But yeah, these guys had a pretty decent run. I think they actually beat Warriors in the Spring Series qualifier. So let's see if we can replicate that performance. Fall is Chronic's team for this tournament. Now you won't need any introduction as to who Chronic is. Obviously a very good ones player. Two Piece and ZPS, Zombie Poop Shark, are they're quite OG threes players for this region. But this is a team who haven't done what most teams do, and grab a 1v1 main and a threes team. Chronic, I believe, is going to be playing the threes here because they only have 3 players. So that's going to be very interesting to see how they could do. With Chronic and threes. We saw Chronic try to play threes, or did play threes in a crew battle for Team Chronovi against Team Alpha Keb recently on my channel, and it didn't go so well. It's a completely different dynamic there. But Chronic's going to be looking to play more threes, I think, because he is getting close to RLCS age. I'm sure he's going to want to make that transition from being just a ones player. Team Meteor coming in with Sharp as the ones player, and I've said this before. I think this is really smart. Solidifying your threes team, who did have a pretty decent run recently in Spring Series with Sharp, who's trying to just get as many wins as possible here. He's going to be an underdog in a lot of ones matchups, but definitely going to be the favorite in a lot of matchups as well. He's somewhere in the middle there, I guess. He's maybe even towards the top end, I would say. So yeah, they're going to be taking a lot of games, and they're a dangerous team for a high seed to run into because of Sharp being just a dedicated ones player. Now Sup are coming in with Forky for ones. Obviously beast in ones recently, not so much in show matches, but when he's not streaming his own matches, I think he's going to be playing a lot better. That's been a consistent thing that we've seen in the past from many players who've tried to stream show matches. So definitely a scary ones team to run into. Twos is going to be scary as well, and you never know. I mean, a lot of people have actually been discussing like what matchup is there more likely to be an upset in. I really expect it to be threes. I think there's more likely to be an upset in threes than any other matchup, because it is more low scoring. So it's quite conceivable to just see a team hang on and just defend and then get 1 goal at the end of the game and win. Much more than it is to see a complete novice in ones come in and have any chance against a top level ones player who's probably just going to score 10 kickoff goals. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, I'm sure we'll see a couple of matchups like that. But yeah, definitely a 1v1 heavy team here. And a Momentum coming in, another 2/3 team who Pirates and Prime Thunder. They had a decent run in Spring Series. They got Miho, who's on the comeback, obviously, former RLCS player. Prime Thunder as well. So a lot of experience on this roster. They're going to be like a scary team to run into. Even though they have, they've got to prove it that they're back with it doesn't matter how much name value you've got. It's the only thing that matters is results. So really interesting to see who's going to play ones for this team as well. Miho, of course, used to be one of the 1v1 beasts for America, but I don't know if that is the case anymore. We'll have to wait and see. Look at Curry. They've got Gengar, top 100 ones player, as well as threes roster who had a decent run in Spring Series. Pretty well-rounded team there. 3-star Armada. As well, just team. Well, I know Skills and Astro. They go back to like making pretty good runs in early Astro Qualifier events. They've got Brendan this time to see if they can hold their own in the threes. This is one of the teams I don't know who's going to play the ones for, because I've never seen any of them play ones, but we'll have to wait and see. And rounding it out is another Brazilian team, UVA, or is it Ava, UVA? I'm not 100% sure. You guys are going to have to correct me on that. Math, Fassi, and Ian. And you saw all these guys playing Spring Series, and they actually are a team. Well, the team roster that finished off third in the Grand Series as well for RLCS this season. So they definitely are up there. I think that recently, pretty solid like third seed coming out of South America. Obviously, Fassi and Ian haven't had a chance to test themselves against international competition as much as Elevens and Avidity have. Especially like on the LAN experience of these teams is going to be really helpful just to know how to deal with the high pressure situations. But yeah, these guys definitely underdogs coming in on the away server. Same for Elevens and Avidity. You know, if this is a LAN, they'd be seated much higher. But you guys have to remember this is a US East predominantly event. Unless of course two US West teams are playing against each other, and that'll be a US West matchup. But for South America versus US teams, or for South America versus North America teams, they will be played in the US East server. So these guys have a disadvantage there for sure. But I know that a lot of them do play on the US server quite often, so they might be able to handle it. We'll have to wait and see. There's so many variables here, so many different things going on, so many different matchups. But yeah, it's gonna be wild. It's going to be pretty crazy to watch. Now, like I said earlier, the qualifier is going to start tomorrow as the time of me recording this. It's going to be 5 p.m. UK, British summertime, for the European qualifier, which should probably finish off around about 5.5 hours after that. And then immediately after the EU one, the NA qualifier is going to begin for that day. But it's not just a one-day qualifier. It is split into 2 days. So we've got a staggered qualifier here with the American one. It's going to start at 11 o'clock. British summertime, and then the second round will be midnight, third round will be 1 in the morning. But in the quadrant below, the first round starts at midnight, and then second round is 1 in the morning, third round is at 2 in the morning. Obviously not very good hours for European viewers here, but the American viewers, you're going to have a great time watching Rocket League all night, because every bracket is staggered 1 hour later than the other one, and the first round of the loser bracket will also be played on the Thursday tomorrow. The Friday is where the rest of the lower bracket will be played out. So we'll have 4 qualification matches on Thursday, first for Europe, and then for North America, and then we'll have 4 qualifier matches for Europe on the Friday, then for North America. We'll know who all the teams are going to be. The North American Fusion tournament does begin the exact following week on the Monday, so we're going to get right into North American Fusion action after that. But yeah, that's pretty much all the updates I have for you guys. A lot of roster moves and a lot of roster plays happening for the event. Like I said before, if you want to find these 2 pages, the European qualifier page on Wikipedia and the American qualifier page, you can see what all the matchups are in round 1 of the winners bracket. Just go to fusion-rl.com, scroll to the bottom, and then these are your 2 buttons that you want to look for to get the links to the qualifiers. But yeah, I'll leave you guys to it. Hopefully a lot of you are able to tune in live for the tournament qualifiers, which are happening tomorrow. If you want to know exactly when they're going live, just again click on the qualifier for Europe, and then just click on the top left matchup here in the bracket, and that'll tell you what time the qualifier starts, because these top 4 matches in the bracket are going to start first. And then for North America, if you only want to catch that one, just again to click on the top left match, you'll find out when the qualifier starts for that day. And yeah, that should be pretty entertaining stuff. It's going to be pretty exhausting for me as well. I've got to stream for almost 12 hours. So yeah, just follow me on Twitter or Twitch if you want to know exactly when I'm going live and what's happening, what teams are qualifying. But for now, that's really all the information you guys need. Times, matchups, teams. They're all there on the Wikipedia links, so just scroll to the bottom of fusion-rl.com and you'll be able to know everything you need to know about this tournament. Obviously, I've discussed everything on the website, all the rules and the formats and everything in my previous video. But lastly, I know a lot of you are going to ask, so if I don't watch it live on Twitch, am I going to be able to see all these qualifier matches on YouTube? And the answer to that question is hopefully. we're going to be trying, obviously there's a lot of matches. We're not going to be streaming, I'm not going to be streaming the whole thing. I'm going to be streaming up to 6 matches, but I will stream all of the qualification matches. So all the matches which result in the winner qualifying to the tournament, I will stream all of those, and we're going to try and upload them, a few of them to my main channel, which of course is the one that you're watching right now, and a few of them to my second channel I made for this tournament. It's the more videos button at the bottom of fusion-rl.com. It'll take you to this channel, which right now is a little bit empty. It's just got the Fusion promo video on it, but this will be putting all the content that I can't get onto my main channel due to time constraints. We're only uploading 1 video a day to the main channel, so we're going to be uploading everything else to the second channel. You can catch it all over there. All of the qualifier matches that don't make it on the main channel will be here, so be sure to subscribe there as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else I need to tell you guys. Again, I'm sorry that I haven't been able to upload recently. I've been really busy trying to get this tournament sorted and get everything ready for tomorrow. Still got more to do, actually. It's currently coming on 10 PM. I'm off to get back to work, basically. But I decided to make this quick video to update you guys, just let you know what's happening. And yeah, really looking forward to bringing the tournament to you guys on, well, tomorrow. The qualifier begins, so it's definitely really exciting. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully it all goes smoothly. But for now, I will leave it at that. If there's another couple of days, if there's another day or two without any videos on the channel, probably just one day, because I think we'll have a qualifier video to upload on the Friday. But if there's no video tomorrow on the channel, this is why. Getting ready for the qualifier marathon, which is about to start. But thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for the support as always. I know a lot of you swing by Twitch and say hi. I really appreciate that. Dropping the primes, very kind of you guys. But yeah, have a good rest of your night, everybody. Stay safe and stay responsible in these times, of course. And yeah, let's get hyped for Fusion, which is getting started in just a few more days.